Well, yeah, Bryce Williams had a he started off the year outstanding, and it all started in the fall. He was in really good shape. He was doing making some huge technical improvements, and it kind of showed because he came out of the gates and broke our school record and went to indoor nationals, and then he kind of unfortunately had the injury bug a little bit where he was fighting it all year and came back outdoor and ended up doing well at Big Tens and making first rounds, and then the season was cut a little short. So I think, going into this year, we've kind of taken it a little easier. He's taken it a little easier, and I'm being very careful with him to make sure that he has the season. This is his last year, and I know he's got some big goals, and he's very capable of doing some outstanding things that he hasn't quite accomplished yet. And that's what we're looking for him this year. But I think we're in a good spot with Bryce. Yeah, I mean, we really had a nice group of four or five vaulters. Megan Fry unfortunately had surgery last year, so we get her back this year. But last year, Hannah was on fire. I mean, Hannah was really consistent, and she did some great things. She was second indoors, fourth at the Big Tens outdoors, and probably the best Big Ten competition. Katie, really had a transition year as a freshman, a lot of success in high school, and came out and kind of figured out what college vaulting is about, and everyone is talented, and she ended up tying Hannah for our school record. So I thought she really came along, and I'm looking for real big things from her this year. The first year, I think, as a freshman is always, it's a transition. You're adjusting to school, you're adjusting to our training, you're adjusting to these high quality meets. So yeah, I think her goal is, and she has some high expectations. We talk about those things, and she has all the ability in the world to make that next leap, and no pun intended, to make that next that jump in her progression as a elite pole vaulter at the NCAA level. Yeah, well, I mean, the one we didn't talk about last year was Greer Gumbrecht, who was sixth indoors and really jumped well. She's on the all-time list. I think she jumped about 13.3, 13.2, somewhere in there. And it was her first year with the program. She's a transfer and really did some good things. So I expect her to improve upon that this year. Then we get Megan Fry back, who was off shoulder surgery, and she's looking really good. She's really good. And then along with we have two other young ladies who are first year. Lexi Boblitz is a transfer, and she's working hard and doing some good things. We have a young lady who's coming in out of high school, Karina Natoli, who I think she reminds me a lot of Hannah Mulhern. She's got great speed, and this fall she's impressed me. I think she's gonna surprise some people in what she can do. So. Yeah, well, I think Devin Bradham last year had a breakout year. The talent has been there, and he proved he can be a first-round qualifier and a Big Ten scorer. He was right at that 7-foot range, 6'11" and something multiple times, but really consistent at 6'10s, and he's looked really good in practice this year along. And then the two juniors, Spencer Hay and Austin Campbell, I think are putting in a great fall and really making some nice changes. So I expect all three of those guys to be potential Big Ten scorers and first-round people. Obviously, Bryce Williams, we've already talked about, and his successes and what his goals are for this year. And then we added a young man from the United Kingdom, Wes Williams, who has a boatload of talent, and I'm really excited about him. And it gives Bryce a nice training partner, somebody that's in the same range. We feel that he can jump. And triple jump has been a big event for Penn State the last number of years. So really excited to continue that. Yeah, and the long jump, Bryce is somebody for the last 3-4 years I've been saying is going to help us contribute in the long jump. He has that ability. I think this year, we'll finally do that and show what he can do in the long jump. And then Will Henderson, who is an extremely talented kid. Again, he was a freshman last year. He had unbelievable success in high school. He's going to come back this year, and I think he's gonna show his ability. We just we're adjusting to some things last year, and we fouled a lot, to be quite frank, and we're just really working on that in the fall. And I think William is gonna do some great things in the long jump. Our multi-eventers, we have 3 young guys, and they're all freshmen. Noah Swaby is a redshirt freshman, so he has put just a really good fall in. I mean, his throws are huge. He's a good runner. He's hurdling well. He's jumping well. I think it's going to be fun to see what he can do this year. The 2 other guys are relatively new to the multis. Isaiah Dillard was a high jumper / hurdler in high school, and now he's learning all the events. So he is he's doing a good job. Pole vaulting, learning the throws. He's actually a good runner, a better runner than I thought he would be at this point. And David Bowles. David Bowles is another freshman who just started track. He's only been 2 years in track, and did some good things. I think he was 5th at the indoor national meet in the pentathlon, and still learning the events, but has some ability. And the thing that I like about all 3 of these guys is they work really hard in practice, and they're a good training group, and it's nice to have 3 instead of 1, so they can all train together and get better. Yeah, no, it's key. I mean, it's key to put that foundation. That's a great word. I think we all use that same terminology. There's a foundation that we put in the fall, and that's going to translate, and then we can build off of that into our more speed-based training when we get closer to the season, and we're starting to transition that now. Also to keep them healthy. I mean, the stimulus that we put on them, the workouts, are just as important as keeping them healthy. Because if they're not healthy, then they're obviously not going to show what they can do. So yeah, we're trying to keep a balance, a fine line of working them, but trying to keep them healthy, and that's we talk about eating, sleeping, taking care of your body, and then obviously the academic part as well, which is a huge important piece to our student athletes here at Penn State. Yeah, I mean, I'm a Pennsylvania native, and we have unbelievable support from our administration. Coach Gondak believes, and as we all do, as a full track and field team. We don't just emphasize one event area. We try to have quality athletes in every event area, and it's just a wonderful place. I mean, look at this facility. Our outdoor track is right out here. We have so many great things here at Penn State. It'd be hard to find anything like that anywhere else. So I'm just happy to be here, and I think our team gets better and better each year, and looking to see what we can do this year.